Hi everyone! In the IELTS Writing Task 2, we have different types of tasks related to social issues. These issues generally are about food, career, education, environment, health, and so on. In this video, I'm going to explain advanced vocabulary, words, collocations for IELTS Writing Task 2 if the topic is about work and career. Let's get started. We can have different types of topics with different tasks about work. Let's look at the examples. We can have a topic, for example, some people say that teenagers should work part-time and earn money. These ways they will earn basic lessons about work and become more disciplined. Others argue that teenagers shouldn't sacrifice their rest and after-school activities to work. Discuss both views and give your opinion. As you see here, the topic is about work and we have a task, and this task is to discuss both views and give your opinion. Or let's look at the next example. Many people think that to become a successful specialist, it's better to choose a career early in life and never change it later. To what extent do you agree with this view? So here our task is agree, disagree, say, but our topic is about work. Or now let's look at other example. A lot of people spend a major part of their adult life at work, so job satisfaction is very important for individual happiness. What are the main factors that contribute to job satisfaction? What are the possible solutions for people who are unsatisfied with their jobs? Or let's look at the next example about work. Big salary is much important than job satisfaction. Do you agree or disagree? So, next example, some people hesitate between getting a job and starting their own business. While the idea of not having a boss and working on one's own schedule may sound tempting, financial risk and stress sometimes overweigh these advantages. In your opinion, what are the pros and cons of working in a company? As you see in all these samples, main topic is work and career, although the tasks are different. When it comes to assessment process of the IELTS Writing Task 2, vocabulary is important. It accounts for 25% of overall band. So, what I am trying to do in this video is to teach you IELTS writing topic vocabulary in order to help you boost your writing band as well as IELTS overall band, which is harder to get compared to other parts of IELTS exam. Now, let's learn 25 advanced words and collocations which can be used when the topic is about work, employment, business, money or career. Let's get started. So, the first one is to break into a market. To break into a market. It means to enter a market with the connotation that entrance to the industry was difficult. Now let's look at sample sentence which you can use in your essay. For example, it is difficult to break into the market for designer sportswear because there is too much competition from leading brands like Nike. The next one is to reach a consensus. To reach a consensus. Here, to reach means to get to a particular level, and a consensus means a generally accepted opinion or decision among a group of people. In a word, it means agreement. So, to reach a consensus means to come to an agreement. Now let's look at sample sentence. For example, the directors of the company have reached a consensus on the new business plan. The next one is to do market research. To do market research. To do market research can be also used when the topic is about work and career. To do market research means to collect information about what people buy and why they choose it. Now let's look at sample sentence. For example, advertising companies do a lot of market research before they design promotion campaigns. Another one is to manage expectations. To manage expectations means to seek to prevent disappointment by establishing in advance what can realistically be achieved or delivered by a project, undertaking course of action and so on. For example, you can tell the company needs to manage the expectations of investors by presenting a realistic figure for next year's estimated profits. The next word is squander, to squander. Squander is a verb which means to waste money or supplies or to waste opportunities by not using them to your advantage. If you squander money, resources or opportunities, you waste them. For example, you can tell he squandered all his saving in an unsuccessful business venture to sell ice cream in London. The next one is overhead cost. Overhead cost. Overhead cost means indirect cost. It refers to regular costs required to run a business, such as rent, electricity, and so on. These are business expenses such as rent that are not directly attributable to any department or product and can therefore be assigned only arbitrarily. Now let's look at sample sentence which you can use in your essay. For example, you can write, an increase in rents in the shopping mall increased the overhead cost of all the shops which operated there. The next one is takeover. Takeover. Takeover is noun and means a situation in which a company gets control of another company by buying enough of its shares. A takeover is the act of gaining control of a company by buying more of its shares than anyone else. A takeover is the act of taking control of a country, political party, or movement by force. Now let's look at sample sentence which you can write in your task 2. For example, you can write as an example, Sony made a successful takeover of the broadcasting company CBS. The next one is a heavy workload. A heavy workload. It means having too many tasks to perform. If you write about difficult tasks or responsibilities, you can use these words. Now let's look at sample sentence which you can write in your task 2. For example, many employees of the company take time off work because of illness and stress due to the heavy workload. The next word you can write in your essay when the topic is about work and career is compensation. Compensation is a noun which means money that is paid to someone in exchange for something that has been lost or damaged or for some problem. Compensation is money that someone who has experienced loss or suffering claims from the person or organization responsible or from the state. Now let's look at example sentence which you can write in your essay. For example, 70% of people working in that company received a large sum of money as compensation for the injury which they sustained at work. Another word you can use is revenue. It is pronounced as revenue. Revenue is a noun which means the income that a government or company receives regularly. Revenue is money that a company, organization, or government receives from people. For example, you can write, one study said the government would gain about $12 billion in tax revenues over 5 years. Or let's look at the next sample. The tax revenues of the government have fallen as a result of the economic crisis. Another advanced expression is to run your own business. So you can use this expression when the topic is about work. And to run your own business means to have a business which you own. If you have business and you are your own boss, it means you run your own business. Now let's look at the example sentence which you can make with this expression. For example, young people are tired of working for other people, so they usually decide to run their own business. Another one is to earn a living. To earn a living. It means to earn money. It means to receive money as payment for work that you do. For example, you can write a sentence with this expression like this. Professional artists can't expect to earn a living from their paintings. The next one is to enhance their public image. Here, enhance means to improve the quality, amount, or strength of something. To enhance their public image means to make their company appear more attractive to people. For example, you can write sample sentence with this expression like this. In order to enhance their public image, some companies donate large sums of money to charities. Another advanced expression is to gain a competitive edge. To gain a competitive edge means to achieve an advantage over another company or organization, often by providing the same goods or services at a lower price. For example, you can write, the high quality of Volkswagen cars combined with their affordable price has enabled the company to gain a competitive edge over all its rivals in world markets. So you can write this kind of sentence as an example in the essay. The next one is to maximize profits. Here, to maximize means to make something as great in amount, size, or importance as possible. To maximize profits means to increase profits to the highest possible level. For example, you can write a sentence with this expression like this. The company has hired a marketing consultant to recommend how to maximize profits next year. The next one is productivity. Productivity is a noun, means the rate at which a company or country makes goods, usually judged in connection with the number of people and the amount of materials necessary to produce the goods. In short, it means the rate at which goods are produced. For example, you can write, my country is not as advanced as some other countries in our industrial sector. Productivity and quality are still quite low. The next advanced word is subsidize. Subsidize. It is a verb which means to pay part of the cost of something. If a government or other authority subsidize something, they pay part of the cost of it. If a government subsidizes an industry, they provide money so that the industry can continue. For example, you can write a sample sentence like this. The government could encourage children to be healthier by subsidizing swimming lessons and sports coaching at weekends. Another common word which you can use in your essay is work-life balance. This also can be used, and it means the ability to work hard but also enjoy a good quality family and social life. So then we can use work-life balance. For example, you can write, people are working long hours these days, and so their work-life balance is affected, leading to stress. The next one is financial rewards. So it is pronounced as financial rewards. Here, financial relates to finance. Reward means something given in exchange for good behavior or good work and so on. Financial rewards are any forms of money payment, for example, salary, pension, and so on. For example, you can write a sample sentence with these expressions like this. Being a primary teacher may be satisfying, but the financial rewards are not high. Another one is incentive. Incentive is a noun which means something that encourages a person to do something. It means any reward that makes people work harder. For example, you can write a sentence like this. Some employers offer vacations or parties as incentives if the team hits its sales targets. The next one is job satisfaction. Here, satisfaction means a pleasant feeling that you get when you receive something you wanted or when you have done something you wanted to do. Job satisfaction means enjoyment of a job for non-financial reasons. For example, you can write, she gets a lot of job satisfaction from her work at the wildlife center, although the financial rewards are quite low. Another advanced word you can write in your essay when the topic is about work and career is outsource. Outsource. It is a verb. If a company outsources, it pays to have parts of its work done by another company. It means to stop doing work inside the company and send it to other companies or other countries, usually to save money. For example, you can write, Many American companies have outsourced their IT operations to Asian countries where productivity is similar and salaries are low. Another word is commute. To commute. It is a verb which means to make the same journey regularly between work and home. If you commute, you travel a long distance every day between your home and your place of work. For example, you can write, it is taking longer for people to commute to work because of traffic problems. Another simple but advanced expression is to conduct a business. To conduct a business means to operate a business in a particular way. For example, you can write, it is important to conduct a business with honesty in order to gain the confidence of customers. And finally, the last one is recruit. Recruit is a verb and means to persuade someone to work for a company or become a new member of an organization, especially the army. If you recruit people for an organization, you select them and persuade them to join it or work for it. For example, you can write, in recruiting students to computer system engineering, the university looks for evidence of all-round ability. That's all for today. Here I have explained 25 words and expressions. You can find some expressions and words basic, but don't forget, all of them are advanced and you can use these expressions if the topic is about work, career, money and business. But make sure the words you use in the sentence are flexible and have a sophisticated control of lexical features. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.